leadership across this country is saying, we have to hit them where it hurts. Mr. Prime Minister, you're out there somewhere and you're telling the rest of the world that you can guarantee certainty. And what does that mean? He's telling all the mining companies, all the corporations from around the world, come to Canada and I can guarantee that you can make millions off the Indigenous people's resources. I can provide you with certainty that you can steal off them and they won't say and do nothing. Well, you're wrong, Mr. Prime Minister, because we're stopping you. You're not doing it anymore. When we blocked the railway tracks a few years ago in regards to the HST, we worked it out with everybody so that nobody would be arrested. We met with the companies involved. We met with the police. We met with everybody that we could to educate them on what we were doing, why we were doing, how long we were going to do it, and to bear with us, and no harm would come to us as we've done that. We got guarantees from everybody, but nobody would be harmed. What the corporation said was, if you continue too long, we'll have to send in the authorities and you may be arrested for not moving. But what we said, well, we don't want to do that. We are willing to work with you to get our message out there to the Canadians, because Canadians don't know that their government is stealing. The Canadians need to understand that there's this theft happening right here under their noses, and it's all legalized within the Canadian legal system and in their legislation. Well, we have to bring the right message to the people out there. So what I would propose, and what the leadership are proposing, is that we hit them with the pocketbook, in their pocketbooks where it hurts. What happens if we go and we block SR Steel today? They cannot remove us without the government or the management at SR Steel going in front of a judge and saying we are experiencing irreparable harm, meaning they have to bring their financials there, they have to show all of their documentation, how much money they're going to lose, and they have to show irreparably that they will never be able to get that money back. And if they do that, that judge will say, well, we'll remove you. It takes them a couple of days to get in front of a judge to do that. In the meantime, we can be there, and when the judge comes along or the police comes along and say, you got to leave, we'll leave. And we'll go somewhere else. We'll go in front of another corporation. And we'll wait for the judge to issue another order. And we'll move again. And we'll keep moving. And we'll beat them with their own law. We don't need guns. We use our brains. And we come to places like this, we come with our heart. We work from our heart. We don't need violence. We do this peaceably, and we beat them at their own game. And when those judges, what happened to our people before, when the judges issued that order and the people said, no, that's our right, we're going to stop that mining company, and they defied the judge's order, it became a criminal conviction, then they were arrested and they were put in that incestuous court where they're not going to get a fair trial, they're not going to get a fair shake, they're not going to get a fair process. Let's stay out of that incestuous court that the government of Canada and Ontario use. We'll eventually get our own systems back, and they'll come to our court for all the thefts that they've done on our people. The government of Canada and Ontario love this because you're not causing any harm. You're not taking away from their pocketbook. This has to stop. We have to get out there where it hurts. We have to stop them when they're stealing our resources. It sickens me every day to see in front of our band office hundreds of railway cars full of your logs. And you guys don't benefit from us. In the meantime, we're in poverty. That's not the way this was supposed to work out. And Canada, the thief is not going to give it back to you. You need to fight for your rightful place. So, Mr. Hayes, I don't know how many times I've met with him, and his shallow words don't mean anything to me. Maybe the young people, I hope and I pray, and I know they'll make some progress in there. Hopefully they'll hit his heartstrings, because he's not an independent thinker. Whatever Harper tells him to do, he does it. But you're not the only ones today that are doing this. They just finished blocking the 401 in London just a little while ago. They just finished blocking the 402 near Brantford, Hamilton. There was a rally down in Hiawatha in Peterborough just now, just finishing up as well. And there was 1,000 of our people that overtook the Canadian consulate down in Minneapolis, Minnesota today. Shame on Prime Minister Harper.
Shame!
The eyes of the world are watching you, Mr. Harper.
Shame!
And I wouldn't want to be out on the streets today because some native person is going to call you on your words. We'll be there wherever you are, and we're going to remind you of your obligations that you inherited as the administrator of our treaty. You do not carry any power with our treaty. You have inherited that obligation to administer it from the Queen. You are powerless, Mr. Harper. Folks, we're going to pick up and we're going to turn up the volume, and this is just the beginning. I'm glad you're here. Don't be afraid. Do what you need to do. Be peaceable. Don't use violence. Don't hide your faces. You have nothing to hide from. Use your heart wherever you go, and if you believe it's right, you just do it. Okay?